welcome to Turpmeister's discussion on Studio Ghibli Movies. Just a brief little review kind of thing that me and my partner are watching Divine. We tried to watch them all in order, but the thing that I downloaded, I do own all these movies on Blu-ray. Bear him, I do. I can prove. Well, I probably will show my spare room, because he's like a man cave. It's just full of like anime and Play Arts Koi figures, if you know what they are, and all my expensive stuff like watches and stuff. Yeah, we tried to watch them all in order. However, for some reason, the thing that I downloaded just didn't work. Well, only select movies work. I have got to download and go back. It's just trying to download now is like a nightmare for me, because I'm with Virgin and for some reason they just block everything, so I got like no chance. It's just a pain in the bum. But yeah, this is our discussion, and the first up was Nausicaä and the Valley of the Wind. Very good film, very great film for kids, and what I do believe is he's showing Studio Ghibli, and fair play to him, especially back, like you're talking like the 80s and that. Very strong female leads, young female leads as well, and Nausicaä, the main character, the girl Nausicaä, she's very strong. She knows her way around. Where I can relate, because I love I'm more of I love animals and insects and stuff like that. I could just live on an island, like with the whole coronavirus thing and all this, all the coronavirus. I just give me a remote island, give me 1,000 dogs, adopted dogs, and I'll live the rest of my life just on this island. Anyway, but she basically in these forests there's giant insects like and there's spores that poison humanity and humans. You get the impression that it's gone on for quite a long time. It's been down through generations of like keeping the insects at bay and stuff like that, and hunting them, and the spore poison and stuff like that. What absolutely blew my mind, there's another one as well that I'll tell you later. What blew my mind is this guy, I can't remember his name, he's like the Blade Master, he's known as the Blade Master, and it's only Patrick Stewart. Like, as soon as he spoke, I was like, that's Patrick Stewart. What is going on here? This is crazy. But yeah, Patrick Stewart is in it, so that's all I have to say. It's a good film with him in. Yeah, great film. Hits all the notes, if I'm honest, like the emotions. You can tell that she's, she wants everyone to live together, and like, you got another strong female lead that comes from a different background, who's like the queen of one of the nations, and she's got a lot of military and stuff. She uses these things called the ancient ones, which were used back like in the ancient times, you led to believe, and they're like massive giant just killing machines that just kill the insects off. So you get to, I'll speak spoilers, or if you really want you can skip a bit, but they used one at the end, but it's not fully like ready, so it just melts. That was one thing I will say. Like, you could have probably because the film's on for like 2 hours, you could have probably just like cut that part out about the ancient ones. Like, it's so like redundant. It doesn't. It's like, oh, okay. Well, you built this thing up for it the whole movie, and it just melts, and that's it. Oh, that's all you get from it. Apart from that, great film, great characters. And next was Castle in the Sky. Castle in the Sky. It's good. It's a bit of a long one. It's the pacing with me. The pacing was just like, you kind of like thrown in at the beginning, like you threw in, and this girl with like amnesia, but like it doesn't really, like, she's captured, and it doesn't really explain like why she has amnesia at the beginning. Correct me if I am wrong, but like throughout the film, you learn about her. You learn that she is the princess of another nation that the castle in the sky, which is like a very advanced race of people on this, like a massive castle in the sky. Now, look, it's protected by like tornadoes and stuff like that, and there's just like there's pirates who are after the jewel that the young girl has, and which makes her float. So pretty handy. Yeah, you get your pirates, and you've got like the army who are just after the castle in the sky and like its technology and stuff like that. Again, good film. Pacing's a little off. Animation's great. The animation is great, especially for the time as well. Studio Ghibli just got mastered. It's just crazy how much time and effort just to go look at in the background. It's just amazing. His work, well, the whole team's work. So that's a good one. Pacing's a little bit off. That's what I'll say about that one. Now onto Grave of the Fireflies. Now, I watched this as a kid. Right, thought it was boring. Honestly, I thought it was boring. Like I wasn't. It was the weakest one. I just never. And like watching him in all of this time, I was just like, yeah, let's just get it out of the way with. But was I wrong? Jesus, was I wrong? Anybody who watched this film, you'll know it's just like literally someone's just gone. Oh, the claw from Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, like, oh my, rips your heart out and it's just boom, boom. It's a beautiful movie. It's about a young guy. I think he's about 14, 15, I think he is, and he's tasked looking after his little sister. I will go into spoilers, so I don't want to actually talk about this movie quite a bit because watching this time around blew my mind. Anybody who's got to watch, anybody who's into anime and stuff like that, even if you're not, you've just got to watch this film. You'll see, like we all hear about, well, in the West anyway, like in England and stuff, we all hear it from our side and the American side, and we're like, yeah, we beat Germany and we beat Japan and stuff like that, but we don't ever see from their side, like the civilians of their side. And this film, boom, anybody who likes to who knows me knows that I like to learn, like obviously learn stuff, but this film opened my eyes. Like, you don't think about it. Basically, yeah, it starts off air raids, American bombers sending in like fire, I can't remember what they're called, like fire bombers. We would call them fire bombers, they're fire bombers, they've got a name. But yeah, so like the young guy, Sesko, something like that, and his sister, the mom goes off to the shelter, leaving them behind, which I thought was a bit weird. You think you all go together, but yeah, they're all held up at a school. I think it was a school, and like the younger brother and the sister, they arrive there, and they can't find the mum, and then all of a sudden somebody that knows them come over and was like, come with me to the older brother and leave the sister. And so they do, and the mum's badly, and I mean like deathbed, badly injured from the fire, and yeah, unfortunately she passes away, and it's not nice, as in like she passes away, but then you get like well, later on in the film you do, and when you see it, you're like, and it happened. You got to remember, in war, literally what happened is like they had mass graves. We'd be able to relate with the coronavirus in America. They were digging mass graves, and yeah, obviously mass graves, the amount of people that are dying, and they're just thrown in and just like all burnt together, and bang, bang, bang. There you go. There's your mum in a box, which wasn't, because there's like 100 people, so the chances. But that's one harsh reality. You just get thrown in straight at the first like 15 minutes. So then this young guy and his sister, they got to fend for themselves. So they go to an aunt, I believe, of the dad. I think it's the dad's sister and not the mom's sister. And at first she's alright. She brings them in. She makes a few remarks to the older brother, saying that he doesn't do anything for the war, for Japan and stuff like that. and you know, you just kind of just like shrug it off, like, yeah, I suppose some people are like that from their point of view, and for that time, you know, life's good. There's still air raids happening and stuff, but they're it's more like a little bit bonding session between the brother and the younger sister, and you find out how close they are, and they're very close. Things are good. Well, you know, as good as can be as in their situation. They just lost their mom. Oh, and I forgot to mention the dad's actually a naval officer on a boat for the Japan War. For the Japan warships, and so the other brother always mentions his dad. He's daydreaming about his dad fighting and being a naval officer and well respected and stuff like that. And as time goes on, the aunt becomes malicious, kind of like very attacking, and like especially really attacking both of them. Like it was just the older brother, it kind of went into like the younger sister, and it's like, you know, what were you doing? She's like 3. That's the only like I can see people being like that, but I think it's a bit extreme. I think like, if I had to choose something to change a little bit, I'd change that, but keep the circumstances the same. But yeah, so like the younger brother and the sister they go to the bank and they get like all their mum's savings and stuff. So they're happy. They're like, screw this, let's go live in that bunker. There's an air raid bunker that they keep going to, and we'll go live there, just us two. And they do, and it's good. They're like, it's very adult, as in like, you know, he's there looking after his sister. Then time goes on and things get harder. The crops in the city, the farmers, they're on rations. Everyone's on rations. You've got to remember that it's war. Their crops are burned, so like, you know. So yeah, everyone's struggling, and so you start to see the wear and tear on the brother and sister. They're like really malnourished. They're getting rashes. They're struggling basically. That's the impression you get. He takes her to the doctor, and the doctor says like, well, she just needs food. It's malnourished, and like, he's like, well, I know that. Can't you do nothing about it? Well, you gotta remember the doctor's seeing about 1,000 people a day, and it's, you know, in these circumstances, so like, can't help everyone. And that's kind of like the message that you kind of get there. And well, the brother knows that he's failing, as in like to look after them both, and you kind of see that as time goes on. He starts breaking down a bit. At one point, he robs off a farmer sugar canes, I think it was, just to feed his sister, where he gets caught by the farmer, and the farmer beats him and takes him to the police officer, and the police officer actually treats him quite nice. You know, he lets him off, but like, yeah, the older brother breaks down crying and stuff. Yeah, things aren't looking great. You kind of wish that one of the farmers says to him, like, you know, just go back to your aunt, and you kind of wish that, you know what, just suck it up and just go back with your, you know, tail between your legs and just do it. But so the brother goes and I can't remember, it doesn't really say, but I think it's his dad's bank account, and he gets all the money out of that, gets a stove and stuff like that. And so things, you know, a little bit better with this stove and stuff, and then make the bunker their own. There's a very nice message towards the end. They get fireflies, and like, they all love them. And then like the next day, you find like the younger sister like burying the fireflies, and then she makes a remark like, why did they have to die, and why did mum have to die? And then like the other brother was like, oh my god, you know, and like, because he kept it from her, and she was like, yeah, the aunt told her. So it's a bit like, yeah, the aunt's a dick. And yeah, it's a pretty touchy moment. And at about that right point, it's one roller coaster, I tell you, Jesus. Right, get some tissues. Right, so things are bad. Right, they got no food. They're on rations. Absolutely, bad. he gets some money somehow. I think he gets the rest of. Oh yeah, that was it. Sorry, got a little bit more dull. He goes back to at this point. He goes back to the bank, and he manages to get some cash. I don't know. I can't remember where. But then in the bank, he learns that Japan have surrendered, and basically, yeah, his dad's dead as well. Finds out that his dad's dead, and he kind of like, you just kind of get the impression of him, he's just broken at this point. He doesn't show any. He shows anger, obviously you would, and then like on his way back to the bunker, he's like, oh, well, Dad's dead. That's great. Like a laugh, kind of saying like, what more? What else can you throw at me? Kind of thing, and that's like, and yeah, so he gets back to the bunker. The little sister's not doing well. She hallucinates and says like these rocks, and like she has a marble in her mouth, pretending it's these fruit drops that I completely forgot, which is the whole symbolisation of the movie. She gets fruit drops, and throughout the whole film she's eating them, and they're quite iconic, to be fair. But yeah, she's not looking too good, and then like he cradles her, puts some watermelon in her mouth, and was like, oh, once you wake up, we'll go back to the beach, I think he says. And then he says, and then it kind of cuts a little bit, like gets a little bit darker, and it's like, but she never woke up. And I'm like, what? I'm just not expecting this at all for a kid's film. I was just like, what? The girl's dead. And she's dead. And he has to deal with that. And at this point, yeah, he's just broken. He's just broken. He's accepted his fate. And yeah, he gets a burial ceremony thing done for her, just him and her. He puts the fruit drop tin in the casket, and he's about to burn it, but then he takes it back out, and he burns his dead sister and puts her ashes in the fruit drop thing, and then that's kind of like the end. But then like, the beginning is the end. At the beginning, he says like, "Oh, this is me," and he's like a starving child in a train station. People walk past him disgusted, homeless. Ew, what you doing? You smell. And then somebody leaves him food, and he just dies. And that's the beginning of the film. And then and the ending of the film, he's sitting on a bench in a ghost form. He's reunited with his sister, sits on a bench in like modern day Japan, and that, like, saying like, look what happened. I swear that film blew my mind and opened my eyes. I was like crazy, because I've always learned from like my nan and granddad and some people, the older generation people, all from our side of the point. We forget, we just see them as the whole people as an enemy back then. You just think like Germany back in 1945, bang, enemy, anyone German kind of thing, but you don't. It's not like that. Civilians are innocent, but to a certain point, I suppose. But yeah, it really opened my brilliant film. I would definitely recommend this to anybody, but just yeah, don't. It's not an uplifting movie at all. Seriously, you're like, oh my god, right. That was Grave of the Fireflies. Next was My Neighbor Totoro, which has the best intro song I've ever heard ever. It's like doot doot doot, which is the background of this. That's Totoro. It's all reversed. I don't know what come first. I don't know what come first. Yeah, there you go. My mind's just like, whoa. Right, I don't know what come first. The Moomins are that little thing, but I loved the Moomins as a kid as well. Yeah, my Neighbor Totoro was good. Honestly, I swear, there's an old woman in it. Well, and after this is coming off the back end of Grave of the Fireflies, so look, the old woman. There's like a few times where the little sister. It's basically like a little sister. There's two sisters and the dad. And they're moving into a new house inside out well out of the, you get the impression that they're coming from a city, I think, and it's a proper country house. I'm not gonna shorten this film. It's just a good film. It's just basic, like just a nice kids film. Like there's these like mystical creatures that look like little spiders, like dust bunnies they call them, and then like the little sister goes into like the back end of the house and finds like a secret forest where that guy is Totoro, and like he's just sleeping. He's just a fun. He's just a magical creature. You never learn anything about him. He doesn't speak. No one refers to him or anything. It's just a sort of, he's just a magical creature. It's a nice film, a nice uplifting film. I would recommend these ones to anyone with kids and stuff. Yeah, it's a nice film. But going back to what I was saying, coming off the back end of the Grave of the Fireflies, there was 2 instances in this film. There's like an old woman that always greets them. She seems in charge of everything, and the little sister's like, "Oh, I don't like it. I don't like staying with her." So there's me coming off like Grave of the Fireflies, thinking she's a serial killer or a torturer, or like she's really, bad and she's just a nasty person, or there's like an evil witch and she's gonna kill people. But no, it's not like that at all. It's just a nice uplifting movie, and just don't read too much into it like I did coming off Grave of the Fireflies. I was just like, because the mum's in hospital as well, and they're always going to the mum, like the little sister runs off, it's like, whoa, everyone's scared, and not scared but like concerned, like she's missing, and like, there's me thinking the worst from Grave of the Fireflies. Yeah, so yeah, good film. Would recommend it. Now on to my favourite animated movie of all time, and that is Princess Mononoke. I won't say much here because I will do a video of it on its own, but yeah, it's my favourite movie of all time. I love this film. It just spoke to me when I seen it. It spoke to me. It's a film about nature and animals and humans trying to live with animals and blah blah blah, and the other side, the nasty side. Like there's always 2 sides. That's what I like about it. There's always 2 sides, right? You've got like the one side where like you're destroying nature and stuff like that, but then like on the other side, humans have got to prevail, move on, and expand. It's a good film. Well, it's not just a good film; it's a great film. Yeah, it's where my love of wolves come from. Yeah, masterpiece in my eyes. The art is just great. The message is just immaculate. Again, strong female lead and a strong male lead as well. They're both like main characters, and it's great. You don't see that in a lot of films, but two main leads. You got, and they're both great. Like the boy is more like he wants to protect. He finds Mononoke and he falls in love with that way. That's the impression you get, and he does say at the end. And then there's Mononoke who's fighting for nature, fighting for the animals, and you root for her, but then she's a bit wild as well at some points, where like the kids like trying to look after her and like save her. She doesn't look at it like that. She's like, I hate all humans, but with her saying that and the wolves agreeing, well, the head wolf is like dictating to her how it feels, and it's like she loses her humanity, and at the end she gets it. It's just a brilliant film. That's all I'll say about it because I'll make my own one, and I'll do a video on it. So the last one is Ponyo. Even great film. I had a lot of fun watching this film. It made no sense. It's just like, where the hell have you thought of this from? But like, just amazing. And Liam Neeson is the voice of the fish dad in it, and it's just like, I know that voice, and come to me. Great film. You'll have loads of fun with it, especially if you've got little kids. And I know I'm not a little kid, but I'll watch any film. My main thing is I love B-movie horrors. So yeah, I've seen some crap. I swear, I've seen some crap in my time. But you can't go wrong with Studio Ghibli films. Brilliant, especially like I said, if you've got kids, I'd highly recommend every single one of them so far. Maybe not Grave of the Fireflies, just person, as in like, I know the Disney films are sad, and even like Land Before Times, and that's just coming from my head. Them films made me cry when I was a kid, when the mum dies in Land Before Time, and when Mufasa dies in Lion King. Breaks my heart even today. yeah, so there is like sad in emotions in Disney films and other animated film. I just kind of feel that Gravity Falls Firefly is a bit too much mature, as in to put yourself in that position and stuff. I wouldn't like that as a kid. Even though I did watch it as a kid again, I thought it was boring because I was all into my action, my anime, Akira and Ninja Scroll and stuff like that. Guyver's my favourite anime as well. And yeah, so that's the films that we got so far. I'll make them as we go along. We'll watch like 2 or 3, 4, 5 movies, and I'll do like a movies too, and then at the last one I'll do like an overall ranking system, which is going to be quite hard, to be fair. Out of the list, Nausicaä, Castle in the Sky, Gravity Fireflies, My Neighbor Totoro, Princess Mononoke, and Ponyo. I won't put Princess Mononoke in there, but I'd say out of all of them, the best film, I had the most fun with, I'd say Ponyo. I had a lot of fun with it. Very fun, you finish watching, you think that's nice. The message is a little bit odd. Like at the end, it was just like they're only, I think, he's 5 years old. The kid who looks after Ponyo and he asks him to like love her. Like, do you accept her love forever and stuff? And he's like, yeah. I just kind of think like that's a little bit odd. Like asking a 5-year-old to love a fish that transformed into a human, to love her for the rest of her life. So it's kind of a little bit weird. I kind of miss the message. It's just, I think the message is just like accept people. I think if I was to take a guess, it would be like to accept people for who they are and to love each other, because that's what's great about this film is everybody knows each other in this town. This is Ponyo, by the way. Everyone knows each other in this town. Everyone helps each other in this town, and it's like a boat, like a harbour town, and it's great. It's great to see when the ocean rises and just covers the whole town. Everyone's helping each other. Good to see. Great to see. Like Princess Mononoke on the other hand, the nation and Nausicaä and stuff like that, they're all at war with each other. Like, no one likes each other. Like, obviously you got your own nations and that, but there's a lot of arguments and aggro and fighting in these films. But Ponyo never. It was just fun. I love the old people in the old people's home, where they all have to end up. They're hilarious. They're funny. I'd say Ponyo is probably the best one. The weakest,